lot is happening in the alcobev sector, as we pointed out. So let's go across to our guests who are joining us on the show now. Karan Taurani from Elara Securities, as well as Mr. JK Arora, the MD at Soam Distilleries, are joining us now to talk to us about the sector dynamics and how it's really panning out. Karan, let me start with you because the latest is coming in with respect to Heineken's Q1 earnings, right? And as far as their commentary regarding India is concerned, they are talking about how the net revenue is up around in high single digit for the Indian market. It's been aided by both volume growth as well as pricing growth. The beer volume growth has been led by Kingfisher, of course, and it's come in at mid-single digits. But premium portfolio has actually grown by around high teens when it comes to the India business specifically. Your read-through of the Heineken numbers and what does it spell for the Indian companies?
Hi, Anisha. Thanks for having me. So if you look at the volume growth numbers here specifically, I think high single digit or rather mid single digit is something which is very good. We have to understand the fact that United Breweries did see a lot of disruption. They really changed the route to market in Tamil Nadu, which has a sizable chunk to 7 to 8% of the volume comes in from there. And there are also some changes which are happening, in terms of, the premiumization shift and more focus on Heineken and other premium brands. So I think basis that if Kingfisher has been able to report a growth of about 5 to 6 odd percent, this is definitely, ahead of our estimates and expectations. As far as premium growth is concerned, I think that is largely in line. I think 12 to 15% is what the industry average growth, which is there on premium beer front. I think UBL, in terms of premium beer, they have a very small market share as compared to the regular beer, wherein they are the market leaders and they have a sizable market share. So I think we do foresee that, because of Heineken Silver launch and because of, other things that they have in terms of their premium offering, we do expect, the growth rates to actually amplify from here on if they were able to gain market share in the premium beer segment.
Hi Karan, Soumit here. Regarding the Delhi license issue, do you think the Delhi market is big enough for United Spirits to make an impact or to eat into the market share of Pernod Ricard?
So I think Delhi market, purely in terms of volume share, it is not more than 2% of volume. So it's a very small market that way. But in terms of the broader revenue share, it would be close to 3 to 5% of India's alcohol revenue as far as spirits is concerned, because it's a premium market and a lot of the prestige and the Scotch brands are sold in large numbers over there, which have got a higher EDP as compared to the normal brands. Now, in terms of the broader impact on United Spirits, we definitely foresee a positive impact for UNSP, because if you look at the numbers here, I think Pernod was the market leader in Delhi. And Pernod, if you look at, they've got close to 30 to 33% market share in the prestige segment. And the total whiskey volume cases, their market is somewhere close to 17 to 18%. And I think in Delhi, their market share would be somewhere close to 40% plus in the P&A segment, because there was a very strong recall for brands like Royal Stag and Mendes Pride. So I think mid and upper prestige segment is something which is going to see changes here in terms of market share. And we believe that there are many local brands. There is companies like Radico, which will see a benefit of that. I think in terms of UNSP, the benefit will be more limited to McDowell's number one, because if you look at the mid and upper prestige segment, I think UNSP that way has not done phenomenally well in terms of broader recall with the customer. So I think it's a win-win, for UNSP, for Radico, for other players as well. But the bigger delta herein, could come in for Radico, and maybe, half to 1% kind of a volume growth revision that can come in for UNSP as well. But we'll have to wait and see in terms of how long the situation persists, because we believe that there's a high likelihood of Pernod contesting against this in the Supreme Court or higher courts. And if at all they come back, then this kind of market share gain would be very short-lived.
Point taken, Karan, let me bring on board Mr. Arora as well into the discussion. Mr. Arora, you are also going, into the expansion mode. You recently started commercial production in Karnataka plant as well. Talk to us about how the demand is on the ground, both for IMFL as well as beer, because I understand almost 65% of the revenue comes from IFL, whereas beer is around 25-30%, right?
90% beer. 20%? 90% beer.
Mr. Arora, can you hear me?
Yeah. No. Our total out of total revenue, 90% comes from the beer only. as far as industry is concerned, industry is going for a single-digit growth, as you was talking to my friend. But as far as our SOM is concerned, we have got a 3-digit growth. Now 2 years in a row, we have a growth of more than 100% of this thing. Industry is growing at the rate of 8-9%, but our growth is at the rate of 100% last 2 consecutive years.
But Mr. Arora, how are you managing to outpace the industry by such a huge margin as well? And with respect to your capacity utilization, what does that stand at?
Yeah, we this year now again from this week, last week, we expanded our capacity to double. So, and this capacity is also being utilized fully. So this 100% growth in the production, that is also being utilized. So this coming year, this coming current financial year, we are again hoping the same kind of growth what we had last year as well. So it is a basically capacity utilization and acceptance of the brand. Basically, it is the credit goes to consumer who have accepted brands. So it is the brand which are doing very well in Karnataka.
So would you say 1,000 crore revenue profile is possible in FY24?
Yeah, of course. There's 1,000 crore is no doubt at all. It is easy this year.
Is an 11 to 13% margin band?
It is little less because last year, as you know, because of this Ukraine war, the situation was really bad. This year the situation has improved a lot because the impact of that war and other things have improved. So margins are slightly better because of the price increase and all, but not to the tune of 12%, but yes, 11% we are hoping to be there.
So, sir, if you could give us some idea about how the raw material prices have been moving and what could be the margin benefit of raw material prices have actually come down compared to last year?
You see, last year everything was terribly bad. If you know, if the coal prices, where the coal prices went, then these major player in the glass industry, this 70% production of the country used to be made by the HNG, Hindustan National Glass. They gone into the NCLT, and because of the Ukraine war, this United Brewery used to buy the most of their requirement out of Ukraine only. So the supplies were stopped of the malt from the Ukraine. So all the situation was bad. This year now the coal has come down, and the barley supplies has improved, and the glass bottles and lot of shifting of the consumer from glass bottle to the can, which is available. So this year comparatively situation is better. It is not that prices have come down, but availability of the material and the price increase and the capacity utilization has made the difference. So margins would be better than the previous year this year now.
My last question would be to you, Karan. Before we wrap up this conversation, what would be your pecking order? Firstly, whether it's spirits or beer, and in that category, which are the stocks that you're advising investors?
So I think in the alcohol industry, we generally don't have a compelling buy as such because we do see concerns on the RM inflationary front. Of course, RM inflationary pressures have eased off as compared to last year, whether you call it glass, packaging, or even around barley or ENA, which are key ingredients used for beer and whiskey. But I think, there are issues here in the form of, price hikes being subdued this year versus last year, which was kind of better. There are also challenges around growth in terms of volume growth as well. So I think in terms of pecking order, we have got an accumulated rating on United Spirits. We have a reduced rating, on United Breweries, and we have an accumulated rating on Radico as well. But nothing, to come as a compelling buy because we believe that these are issues which exist internally, externally for the alcohol industry.
Okay, on that note, gentlemen, we let you go. Karan as well as Mr. Arora, thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. Appreciate you joining us on the show. But